Welcome, everybody, to the today's webinar with our subject, How to Protect Natural Stone. My name is Johannes Albert. I'm the director of the application department of Chemie. And yeah, thank you for joining us to today's webinar. I would say good morning, good afternoon, depending where we are in the world. I see we have some visitors from all around the globe, some from the States, some from India, some from Greece. So the whole world is here. Thank you very much for joining. So what is the plan today? I will shortly go through our topics. We have the first topic is why we have to protect natural stone in the first place. Then what must be considered before impregnation? What are the do's and don'ts for the right impregnation or penetrating sealer application? And then the last topic is what is the right impregnator for my purpose, for my workpiece? Just for your information, you can always ask your questions. You can write them in the chat program. My colleague, Mr. Pirodi, he is in the back. He will manage all the cameras and all the chats, and he will answer the questions, or he will pop them through directly to me, and I will answer them. Yes, this webinar will be between theoretical part like this, some sheets, PDF slides, and then we will move over to our application table and do some product application. Yes, why we need to protect natural stone? Yeah, as it says, it's a natural product, so it is not like glass or porcelain. It has not a closed surface. It is open pores surface. It has capillarities. It has absorption. It absorbs liquids, water, any other liquids, oils, for example. For other natural products, it's quite normal that we protect and treat them, like for example leather shoes, the leather car seats in your car. You will always polish them or bring some nice furnish on it, or wooden tables. All these materials get treated and protected, and the same is for the natural stone. It is a hard material, of course, but it needs also some protection. And what type of the protection? This depends on the type of natural stone. We have some very dense materials. They don't absorb much. They are very they don't get affected by much stain building agents, and some are very sensitive. And of course, by the finish of the natural stone, is it a polished finish or is it a rough finish? Yeah, is the stone only cut raw from the block? It's very open. It has a lot of a big surface where stain building agents can affect and attack. Yeah, what can a protective treatment do? You can see here the best on this picture. This is Carrara marble. We have here on the left side, the stone was untreated. The liquids penetrate inside the stones and leave some marks. And on the right side here, you can see we treated the stone, in this case, the Carrara marble, with our pearl impregnator. And you see how nice the pearls are forming, and none of the liquids are penetrating inside. Other cases, what can happen if you don't protect your stone? In this case, coffee stains or organic stains, they can penetrate deep into material. Of course, we have some cleaning materials, some cleaners, special cleaners to take out this type of stainings. But this is hard work again, and you can often avoid it when you have the right treatment and protective treatment before that. Another case is a freshly floored stone floor, stone tiles. You see some machine oil there and some leftovers of the grout materials here everywhere. So in this case, it's very easy to remove it when you have a good protection there. It's not hard work to remove this excess material. Another case is this rough Uparana, Colombo natural stone terrace, where you see the oil stainings went deep inside. When you have a barbecue, for example, these stainings you can avoid with the right treatment. Yes. Now I want to show you directly what we can do with the right treatment. What are the differences? We have here on our application table, we have one piece of imperial white granite, and I will just show you. And when I pour water on top of it, you can see the difference between the treated, the protected area, and the non-treated area. I think it becomes quite clear. You see in the top side, everything is penetrating. The water goes deep into the stone, and here nothing is happening. So here we have a perfect protection. Now you say, of course, this is just water, but we often have kitchen countertops. We have oil, we have food stains. What we can do here, the same is appearing here. So we have also here, I have a tile. Don't get confused by this ring light here. This is just on top of the camera, so we can get a better view. Yes, here I have also one side is protected, the other side is unprotected, and you can see also sealers, penetrating sealers or impregnators, how we in Germany call them. They don't change the color of the stone. So if you have a light material, it stays the same. Of course, there are impregnators which enhance the color. And now we will apply a little bit of stain building agents here. So we have some water here. We colored it a little bit blue, so it's better visible. We have some espresso, some coffee, and we have some food oil. So I will just pour a little bit on top, and you can see it will directly run over to the untreated area. I have to put a little bit back. You can see how it stays there. Then we take some coffee. Also here, I think it's good visible that on the unprotected side, it's directly penetrating inside the stone and leave a mark. But a kitchen would not be without oil. So we have some food oil here, which I will apply. So, and now this we will leave till the end of the seminar. So it will be about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then we will check on this tile and see what happened, and if we have to remove some stainings or if it's protected. Okay, so let's move back to our desk. So now I've shown you what is possible with a good impregnation, with a good protection of stone. Now we come to the topic, what you have to have in mind and what are a few points you have to consider before you do an impregnation. First, of course, the stone must be clean. Yeah, so it makes no sense to protect, to seal a dirty material, dirty stone, because you will lock the staining inside when you go with a penetrating sealer or impregnation on top of it. So in this case here on the right side, we have to remove the dirt. Here I would use some oil remover or some concrete film remover to remove these residues of grout material. Then the second case, it must be stain-free. So this seems similar, but what we mean under the topic stain-free is sometimes stone materials, they have some mineral structures inside the stone which are not visible when it's dry, but when it's wet or when you apply a color enhancing sealer, they become visible. So you must be aware of that before you treat this area. Or on the other hand, there could be some staining inside the stone which are not visible before application, for example. Yeah, could be some leftovers of some I don't know, some silicone or something. And here we always recommend, especially when it comes to kitchen countertops, to use our cleaner eye to treat the surface first and then check if it's right to do a impregnation. So again, this we will do. I will show you from our application table. So we have here our cleaner eye. That's an alcoholic cleaner. It has more than one application fields. So first of all, it decreases. So when you have still some fingerprints or some leftovers of some oil or grease, which you have maybe sometimes in the workshop when you move some kitchen countertop countertops. So it decreases. It takes off this residues. It takes out leftovers of humidity because it mixes alcohol and water is mixed, so and it evaporates fast. So it takes out some humidity. But what is also doing, and it shows these imperfections or maybe some hidden stains in the stone structure. So apply it in a good amount. And you can see the stone becomes dark. Yeah, so this is how it should be. Apply a little more, so we have a good effect here. So nice. Okay, and you see already on this side, the stone is very perfect, homogeneous, dark. So all the cleaner eye went inside. It has a nice dark effect. And on this side here, you can see there's a mark inside, yeah, which was not visible before. It was on the dry stone. We could not see it. So it could be some leftovers, maybe of some silicone or of some sealers, or I don't know, or it could be a stone mineral structure. In this case, of course, it's not. But this must be cleaned first. So here you have to get rid of this staining to remove it, and then you can treat it. But this stone on that side, there was nothing visible. So this is perfect for impregnation. Of course, we don't think that you will flood a whole floor with our cleaner eye, with our alcoholic cleaner, to check if there are any hidden stains on the tiles. Of course, on floors it's not so necessary, because what is the worst thing what could happen? You have one tile, maybe there's some staining inside. Yeah, the worst thing is you have to replace it. So this is little work. But if you have a big kitchen countertop, 3-4 meters, 1-2 meters wide, so we have a huge piece, very expensive, and then you treat it and you have some hidden stains there which you're not aware before. That could be expensive, or quite a lot of work to remove that again. So in this case, we always recommend use our cleaner eye first. You only have benefits. Yeah, you remove fingerprints, you remove some oil or grease which is on the surface from transportation. You take out some leftovers of humidity. You open up the pores that the impregnation can penetrate in, and you can check if there is anything hidden which I was not aware of when the stone was dry. Okay, so that's so far from the stain-free. Now we come to our third topic. Now we come on to our third topic. Yeah, this is again the picture what I just showed you. Here, uniform, yeah, very nice, dark, very homogeneous. Here you can use our impregnators, and in this case, some structure is here which we have to get rid of first, clean it up, and then we can also impregnate here. Okay, of course, the stone must be dry, yeah, before we use an impregnator or penetrating sealer. And not only the stone itself, but also its substructure when it comes to outdoor terraces, for example. Yeah, when it's like 3 days ago, it has heavy rains. And of course, the stone looks dry on the surface, but underneath there could be still some humidity. So here you have to check if the stone is dry. One easy hint is how can I check if a floor, a terrace, is dry? The stone is dry enough for treatment. is you take a plastic foil, 1 square meter. Yeah, you place it on the stones on the floor. You put some stones on it that it does not get blown away by the wind, and then you leave it overnight. You check, and on the next day, if you see any water, any condensation water, any dark spots on the stone under the plastic, you know the stone is still too wet, yeah, for treatment. So here you should wait more. A second thing is also have the weather in mind when it comes to a outdoor treatment, because when you know in the afternoon there will be rain, so you should not apply impregnation in the morning, yeah, because usually they need 24 hours to fully cure, and when they are not cured and it starts to rain, something like this can happen in the middle picture. So you have to be aware of that. A third thing is with humidity, especially in the times now, especially when you're in the northern hemisphere, where we have winter time. When you bring stones which are stocked inside your workshop, yeah, usually you have a temperature change from 20-25 degrees maybe, and they start to sweat, and they get a lot of condensation water. And outside they look dry, and when you bring them inside, they look also dry, but then they start to sweat. So here you have to be aware, and you have to dry the stones. I will show that to you right away in 1 second. First, I will show you another picture, also something like that. Yeah, when your stone is packed with plastic, you can be sure there is some humidity trapped inside the stone. So here you have to be sure, dry it proper. If it's not warm enough, take a flame and dry the stone, and then you're good to go with a impregnation. Yes, let's do that. We have here a tile which we just had outside. We put it in 1 hour ago. We have now in Germany about, I don't know, 2 degrees, yeah, 0 degrees roughly. It's snowing, it's raining, so roughly about this temperature. So we put it in 1 hour ago, and it's still quite cold. Now we can switch with the camera. Yeah, again, don't get confused by the ring light. It's just to show a little bit better. So now when I go on the flame, with the flame on the stone, you can see directly how the stone starts to sweat. Yeah, here's the water. This is all water. Yeah. Here really you have to be sure that your stone is dry. You need to go with the flame several minutes over the stone, especially when you have kitchen countertops, yeah, where you have big pieces, where you want to be sure that the treatment is right, what you're doing. Here you have to check if it's dry, and better, of course, you put the stones maybe a few days before you treat them inside your workshop. Maybe you have like 15-20 degrees in your workshop, Celsius, or you place it in front of a radiator or oven or something, so you're sure your stone is dry. And if you cannot do that, yeah, not a flame like that, that's too small. Of course, you use a bigger torch. Yes, I see we have one question.
There's one question. Yeah. What about granite water fountains?
Again?
What about granite water fountains?
Ah, okay. No, this is only during treatment. The stone must be dry. If it's later on wet, there's no issue. Yeah, that's the reason we want to have a good protection, so that we later on have no problem with water fountain or I don't know, food stains or something like this. But during treatment, the stone must be absolutely dry. Yeah, later on it can rain. We can have a water fountain there. That's not an issue. But during application, must be absolutely dry. Okay, so let's move on to our next topic, or next Yeah, we have clean, stain-free, and dry. Now the temperature comes into place. And usually we say the ideal temperature would be between 10 and 25 degrees Celsius. This is the ideal temperature, and it's not only the environment temperature, yeah, also the stone temperature which also you have to be aware when you are outside, especially let's say in springtime, April, May, maybe. During daytime, you already have like good amount of a good temperature, like 20, maybe more degrees. But in the nighttime, it still can drop the temperature, especially here in Europe, and you can have maybe only 5 degrees in the night. And so your stone is definitely not warm enough also during the day to get a good treatment. So here you have to check, we need this 10 degrees minimum to have a good treatment. The 25 degree, of course, this could not be a maximum. This is, of course, you can treat your stone also when it's warmer outside, when it's like 30 degree, 35 degree in the summertime. But then you have to be aware of a few things. This would be when it's like August, full summer, noontime, 35, 40 degree, I would not treat my terrace in direct sunlight. Yeah, so here I would go to the morning hours or to the afternoon and look maybe for some shade where I can treat the stone. What is important, we always recommend that the stone will be treated for about 15 to 20 minutes with a sealer, with a penetrating sealer. If you have like higher temperatures or very absorbent material, it can evaporate faster. So it can, the impregnation can dry up faster. So here we recommend like after 5-10 minutes, depending on your stone and your temperature, do a second treatment, wet in wet. Yeah, so don't let the first treatment dry. You see it starts to dry in some areas, then you go again directly with a second treatment on top of it, second coat on top of it, that you can, about the 15 to 20 minutes reaction time you should have. Then a sample area. This is more when you, let's say, come to a customer, he says, okay, I want my stone, it's too gray, let's say, I want it more enhanced, I want a darker color, richer color. Here you always should do an sample area in a not so much visible spot, not directly in the middle of the table, for example, more on a hidden spot. So you can check, does your customer likes it? Then when he likes it, get the confirmation, and then you're good to go. For example, here, nothing big is happening. When he does not like it, the worst thing what can happen, you have to remove a few tiles, but that's it. Don't do something like on this picture, please. This is a 8 centimeter thick and I don't know, 1.20 meter wide and 6 meter long massive kitchen countertop. And when you do a mock-up here, sample area here, and your customer says, I don't like that, then you get you start to sweat, because this you have to remove, or it's very difficult to remove that, or in the end you have to remove the whole piece, and this is in this case impossible. So always make a sample area if you don't know your material and your customer does not know what will happen when you enhance it, or for example like that. In this case would be easy. You just take a small piece of leftover stone, you treat it separately, you show it to the client and say, okay, do you like it? You don't like it? And then you're good to go and go for the whole area. The next point is the appropriate application tool. Why this is important? Because we always get the calls and say, what can I do? I treated the stone and it does not look so good. Something like this can happen. You see here, there was a color intensifier applied on the stone, probably by a roller, by a paint roller or something like this. And you can see directly where the roller was full of material and where it was not. So this is not a good result. So of course the client will be not happy and not paying for that. So we don't recommend rollers. We recommend other materials. We recommend, especially for large areas, we recommend microfiber mops. Something like this. This is our program. We have tested this material, so we are sure this works fine. Of course, we are a chemical company. We don't want to sell this material. It's just to help you. If you don't find material like that, of course, we have it in our program. But what we recommend is microfiber mops. And why? I will show you in the next picture. or in the next video. And you can see here how fast you can treat a big area and how easy. Yeah, and he brings a lot of material on the surface, very homogeneous, no roller signs, no stripes, no nothing, very homogeneous, a lot of material. And the microfiber mops we have tested, they can hold about 500 milliliter of sealer. And with this 500 milliliter of sealer, you can treat roughly about an area of 10 square meter. So with one dip into the bucket, you can treat 10 square meters. This is quite a big area with one dipping into the bucket, and you're quite fast, and you're sure you have the right amount on the surface, and a very homogeneous application. The same comes when it comes to smaller areas, kitchen countertop, stairways, tables. We recommend this impregnation pads. I will show them to you right now. How it's done by them with them. So we have different. We have this one, this impregnation pads. This is a very small one. This is good when you are already, maybe your customer says, okay, I need a treatment for my kitchen countertop. It's already installed. So with this one, you can get directly, perfectly in small spots also. Or let's imagine here is a cutout of a sink or a cooking field or something. So we can go good around, perfectly around and without spoiling anything. So this is good when it comes to smaller applications and maybe applications already on customer side. But when it comes to, can you switch please? When it comes to application in the workshop, and you have the big countertop here already, nothing installed yet, no sink, no cooking field. So this one is perfect. It's also microfiber pad, yeah, easily to adjust. You can dip it in and then you can apply a quite good amount of material very fast and very homogeneous. And I think let's do that. Also, don't put and spill the sealer or impregnate directly on your stone or your floor or something. Yeah, always use a container like this bucket or a container for paint or something like this, the smaller ones. Because we have a lot of seen some pictures, they just put like 1-2 liter on the floor, then they start to do the roller in all directions. And this is a very inhomogeneous application. So you have a lot of material in the middle, and then you see like the stripes and the roller stripes go away in all sides, and not a good result, not a good result at all. So always use container. So soak it well, get a good amount. Okay, we can switch to the camera overhead. And now you can see that, yeah. I apply a good amount. It should be wet like this, yeah. It must be look like that. So there must be something on the surface, not like only like a damp cloth or something. And you see directly the stone gets dark, it absorbs. So I do the whole stone now. So this is important that you treat it proper, a good amount of material. It goes deep inside the stone. Then you have also a good long-term effect. Maybe you can see here a little bit these bubbles. Yeah, sometimes it appears, especially when you have like floors and stones which are not like polished or more like rough finish, like a flamed finish or something. And we go with the mops over these floors. Sometimes you have these bubbles, but this is perfect. This does not do any harm. Important is that there's a good amount of liquid on the top, and you can see that. And now in this case, probably one application is enough. Now I let it sit for 15, 20 minutes, and we will remove the excess later on. So if I would see maybe in some spots now it gets too dry, I just go a second time on top of it. Yeah, that's enough. Usually 2 applications, 2 coats are perfectly fine. Also when you have a very absorbent material. Okay, so that's so far. We have one question.
One question is, when should it be treated again?
Okay. This depends. This depends a little bit on your application field and especially on your stone. When it comes to hard stones, yeah, like granites, usually here one good application with sufficient with enough material like this one, what I just did, usually many years is good. Yeah. Then of course it depends if it's inside, outside, if it's a kitchen countertop where you always have heavy cooking, oil spilling, yeah, a lot of stains. Then maybe you have to do a treatment more regular. But usually on a hard silica-based granite, one good application is good for many years. I just can tell you from my personal kitchen countertop, it's like 6 years old now. It's a black granite or gabbro actually, and I treated it one time 6 years ago, and now I feel like the water is not purling enough anymore, so I will do a second treatment, but there are no stains at all. When it comes to limestone or marble, it's a little bit different. Because limestone and marble is a soft material. The impregnation or the sealer would last many years actually everywhere. But the problem is with a marble or a limestone, when you have a polished finish, you can check that very easily. You take a polished marble, put it outside, and you just leave it for 6 months. And after 6 months, you check the gloss is gone of the stone. Yeah, it's dull. That's affected by the weathering. Yeah, so the stones erode. The stone erodes. Some small stone particles get I don't know. They disappear on the surface from the surface. So in all impregnation or sealer which attacks to these stone particles also gets removed, of course. Obviously, the impregnation penetrates deep inside the stone, so there will be still some protection, but not the same protection like on the first day. So on marble and limestone, especially when it comes to outdoor applications, I would recommend to do maybe every 1 or 2 years a treatment. Yeah, but on a granite, on a hard stone, many years, no issue. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. That would be excess material. Yeah, as I said before, usually 15 to 20 minutes is what we recommend. We have some sealers also, they need less time. And we have some sealers you can leave up to 60 minutes on the surface. But let's say an average between all sealers and impregnators is like 15 to 20 minutes. You should leave them on the surface. And after that, you have to remove the entire excess, which is not absorbed by the stone. And how to do that? On a big area, you can do that like that. Yeah, again with a mop. In this case, more absorbive mop, or cotton mop, and you can see how he takes off the excess of the sealer, and you can see he's wearing some protective. I don't know what's the name exactly, over the shoe, some shoe protection. So he does not bring any dirt on the surface. And later on, when he walks out of the surface, he removes it, as he does not bring any leftover impregnations or sealers through the whole building. So in this case, it's perfect. He takes another mop and removes the excess. On big areas, you can also use a single disc, polishing machine with a 17-inch nylon pad to remove excess. But on smaller areas like this, a mop is perfectly fine. And on very small areas like kitchen countertop, you take a cotton cloth, which I will show you later on. Yeah, here now just a picture. Again, you see on the top side, there's still the leftover of the impregnation there. On the bottom side, we have already removed it. So the excess material has to be removed, especially like here on a fine honed or polished surfaces. You have to check carefully. On very rough surfaces, usually most of the stone, most of the sealer gets absorbed by the stone already. There you have only to check on maybe some holes or something where there's some leftovers. Yeah, now we know how to treat the stone in a proper way. Now it comes to what is the right product for my case. So first, when it comes to impregnators or penetrating sealers, we have two classes. We have water-based products and we have solvent-based products. Water-based products, usually they have a neutral odor. So yeah, because it's water-based, they have no solvent which evaporates into the air. So this is sometimes useful when you have like, I don't know, still buildings which are running, which are office building, for example. They cannot block the whole building or something. So they want to treat some areas, and they don't want to have the solvent odor. So here a water-based product is perfect. Or when it comes to outdoor application where you're not sure, is this stone dry? Yeah, am I sure if this terrace material is dry already? Then I can take a water-based sealer or impregnator because they can stand a little bit of moisture. Of course, the stone should not be dripping wet. The surface should be dry, but some remaining moisture inside the stone, not an issue for the water-based product. The solvent-based, on the other hand, here you can concentrate the active ingredient much higher. Yeah? You can pack them full of active ingredient. And also the solvent allows the impregnation to penetrate good into deep into the stone, into the capillary system. This is important when you have extremely dense or compact stones or polished stones. There, the solvent-based products usually penetrate better inside, deeper inside, and you bring more active ingredient inside the stone. So these are the two differences. Then it comes to the application field. Yeah, we have some sealers, they are water repellent, water and dirt repellent effect. They have this hydrophobic effect, for example, on a facade, perfectly fine. Yeah, you don't need some oil protection on a facade. So water and dirt repellent, completely enough. That would be the right choice here. But when it comes to dining areas, kitchen countertops, restaurants or something, there you need water, oil, and dirt repellent sealers. And this would be your choice in this case. Or all of them could be also color intensifying or neutral. Yeah. What you just saw on the stones which I've treated before, you could not see if there was a sealer on top of or not because this was not color intensifying. But sometimes, especially when it comes to dark material, you want sometimes maybe this color enhancement. And this you can see on the right side down here, this kitchen countertop before the application of a color intensifier and after the application. Yeah, you can see you get the rich dark color out of this granite. I see we have a next question.
There's one question. What kind of impregnator for internal floor? Italian marble or Indian lime, for example, water-based or solvent-based? Please assume there's some moisture.
Yeah, if there's moisture, of course, we only can go with a water-based product. If the moisture is already in the stone. If it's coming later on, this doesn't matter. Kannst du dich muten? So if the stone is still wet or you're not sure if your stone is completely dry, you always have to go for water-based product. Yeah, or you have to make sure that you dry your stone proper. Yeah, you put a radiator in, a heater, or you wait some days or weeks until your stone is dry. Yeah. Usually, as I said, the deeper penetration, especially when you have dense material, you get with a solvent-based product, and probably also the longer lifespan of the sealer you get with a solvent-based product. So here you should be consider drying the material first in a proper way and then treating it. Yes. So what would be that in a chemi product range? A water and dirt repellent product would be, for example, our stone impregnation. This is a solvent-based product, and this is ideal when it comes to facades, tombstones, for example, where you only have like water and dirt, just the outdoor environment. There will be no oil, no food stainings there. This is a low-price basic protection, ideal for that. Of course, solvent-based, so the stone should be dry, and it will cover about 20 square meter on a polished surface. How does that look? You can see here, there's a dry lay of some facade tiles, and they treat it directly in the workshop. So this is ideal. So you're not relying on any weather conditions outside, not on if the sun is warm or if it's raining or if it's too cold or something. When you can do it in the workshop, it's even better. Yeah, you dry lay your stones, you treat them directly, and then you bring it to your site. You can see here they do a water test, and you can see how the water is purling, so nothing is penetrating inside. So this is a perfect application of our stone impregnation. Now, when it comes to kitchen countertop, more let's say more areas which have more stress and impact of stain building agents like food oil or cooking oil and all other stuff, food stuff, we would recommend our pearl impregnator, which is like the top of the line of the penetrating sealers on the market. It has a very high protective effect against oil, water, and dirt. Of course, it is a food safe product because it goes into the kitchen countertop. So you should be you have to be assured that your product is certified for that. And this you can see in all our chemi products by this food safe label. Then you're sure they are tested by external institute if they are appropriate for food areas, tables, kitchen countertops, living rooms, etc. And it's especially for light and white stone because it does not change the color. Yeah, of course you can use it on dark stones as well, on dark granites, for example. But usually the white ones are the more sensitive materials. So this would be our sealer of choice. And what is also good with this product, you have a coverage of 35 square meter with 1 liter on a polished surface. So even larger, a bigger coverage than with the stone impregnator. But maybe what would be the biggest effect or difference between a standard impregnation, because when you remember, I told you earlier, usually you have to wait 24 hours till a sealer or impregnator develops its protective effect. And with this pearl impregnator, you have already the first effect after a few minutes. Yeah, let's say 20 to 30 minutes, you see already some repellence effect. And it's fully cured after 3 hours approximately. So here you have a fast product when it comes to areas where you cannot block maybe for 24 hours. You can say, okay, in the morning I have to treat them. In the evening they have to open it. They have some event or something. Then pearl impregnator would be the product of choice. How does that look? Here we treated a travertine with the pearl impregnator, and you can see how nice the pearls are forming, even on the big holes of the travertine. So it covers also a little bit of some small cracks and holes. Of course, I would not bet my money on it that this travertine would not take any water in the holes, but you can see the effect. And I think let's go back to our treated piece, treated tile. Here this was our treated tile, which we have applied our pearl impregnator earlier. Now I will remove the excess with a cotton cloth. And actually there's not much left already. The stone took most of it. Especially on polished stones, you have to check always in the light. You can see here, it has a perfect shine now. There's no stripes, no leftover of the material of the sealing material on top of it. So this is perfect. Of course, it's dark now, but this is the solvent, which penetrated inside the stone and took all the active material deep inside the material, deep inside the stone. And this will evaporate. Tomorrow the stone looks perfect. It will look like that one because this was treated earlier with our pearl impregnator. So it will come back to our original color. And let's go back to our stain test, and you can see already the difference. So what is the time? I don't know, 30 minutes maybe. But 30 minutes we have the the coffee, the water, and the oil on the stone, and you can see, yeah, on the water, yeah, no penetration, but on the untreated side, very deep stain. And you can see when I now remove it, very easy to remove. All the water is in the clothes, in the tissue. Nothing is left on the stone. And here, yeah, you can see most of the water has penetrated into the stone and letter mark. But I think it gets more visible with the coffee and with the oil. Again here, this side was protected with our pearl impregnator. Yeah, I can just wipe off the coffee, the espresso, and on this side, yeah, most of the coffee has penetrated already deep inside the stone. And now this is difficult to remove. Yeah, this is some organic staining. You need some strong cleaners to get this out again. Some strong chemicals. This you can avoid with a proper treatment on a dry stone. Yeah, this is always important. The stone must be dry. Apply a lot of material, a lot of impregnation. Not that we want to sell more, but the effect is much better. Yeah, if you apply a good amount of sealer on top of the stone, you're sure it gets absorbed enough, and your stone will be protected the best possible way. The same with the oil here. Again, for the pearl impregnator, not a problem at all. And here on the untreated side, on the unprotected side, you can see how the oil is already penetrating inside the stone. And here you have to attack with some strong oil and grease removing agents like our oil and grease remover paste or some strong alkaline cleaners. And this you can avoid, of course, with a proper treatment. Yeah, I will show you also the other side of the stone, and you can see how deep already the coffee and the water, yeah, it just went through the stone. The oil, of course, it's a little bit more thick. It takes more time. Maybe in 1 hour, it will also be visible. But you can imagine this was only 20 minutes, and this is a 1 centimeter thick tile. Imagine leaving a coffee stain on a 2 centi or 3 centi kitchen countertop for maybe overnight because you did not see that because it was under the coffee machine or something. Your stain is completely through the material, and this to remove will be quite hard. So a proper treatment will avoid that. Okay, now we come, I think, already to our last topic. We have done our basic impregnation, stone impregnator, and we have our high-end impregnation, our pearl impregnator for food stains, kitchen countertop, perfect. And now we come to color enhancement, our last product which we want to show you today. This would be our Transformer Max. This is a very fast and extremely strong color intensifier. Usually for good color intensification, you need to leave the darkener or the color intensifier a long time on the surface. We have also a product like that. It's called Darkener Super. You can leave it up to 60 minutes on the surface when you need a very deep color enhancement, especially on dense material. The Darkener Super is perfect for this application, especially when it comes to big areas, large surfaces, floors, etc., where you need also the time, yeah, where you start applying it on one side and when you are on the other side of the room, already 1 hour is gone or so. So you need the time. But when you are in a hurry, when it comes to fast color intensification, then the Transformer Max is the perfect product for you, especially for very small areas like this. What is the case? What is the name? Dripping area of a kitchen countertop, or from the edges when you want to get a deep, fast color intensification, then this Transformer Max is the perfect product. Of course, it's for kitchen countertops. It's food safe tested. It's a solvent-based product, so make sure your stone is dry. I will show it also how the application works in just in a minute. And even here we have a coverage up to 50 square meters. So it's very high concentrated. It's very efficient product. And when it comes especially to resin coated surfaces, you can get a very nice treatment, very nice color enhancement, a fast color enhancement. When you don't have time for treating the edges like 15, 20 minutes to let the color intensifier penetrating in, you have to move your piece maybe in your production, then the Transformer Max is perfect. Yeah, this is, for example, like the stripping areas, draining surface. You can see the difference, untreated to treated. You get this nice dark color directly with our Transformer Max. Yeah, this again, I will show you. We have here this nice green polished material, but when it comes to the edges, yeah, they still are a little bit rough, but I want to have the same effect like on the polished surface, like the nice dark shine and rich color. So what I do is now I use the Transformer Max for that. You can, of course, use again some impregnation tool like this. But in that case, for small areas, also just a cotton piece of cotton is perfectly fine for that. Apply only a little bit on your cotton, and then I will treat half of it. Check, yeah, like that, it looks good. Yeah, and you can see perfectly directly the rich, dark color which we are creating. I hope it's visible. Yeah, I think you can see that. And now this, I don't have to leave like for 15, 20 minutes on. I just leave it for 3, 4, 5 minutes. Then I remove the excess and I go to move the piece to the next workstation. Of course, the protective effect, the water, dirt, and oil protective effect also will be developed only after 24 hours. But you don't have to wait a long time for the penetration. Yeah, so 3, 4 minutes, you wait, and then you just take again a cotton cloth, you remove a little bit the excess, and then you're good to go. But then you have this nice effect. I think you can check it also on the big camera. I hope it's visible. Let me check. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's visible. Yes, this would be the last product which we wanted to show you, Transformer Max. So this is a perfect product when it comes to small areas for extremely fast color enhancement, stairways, tables, kitchen countertops, edges. Perfect product for that. Leave it there a few minutes, remove the excess, and you have already the very deep color enhancement. Yes, there's one more question.
One question here. Can Transformer Max be used on porcelain edges?
For?
Porcelain edges, ceramics, etc.
For ceramic edges, yes. If the ceramic edges are cut, some fabricators actually recommending this product. There you can use it, yes. Of course, it will not have the same long-term effect like on an absorptive natural stone, like a granite, for example. Maybe here you have to think about a reapplication, maybe after a few years. But you can use it. So some manufacturers are recommending it for that application. Actually, this Transformer Max, they recommend, especially when it comes to the cutout areas out on sinks, which you cannot polish perfectly and get the same gloss, for example, or there's the same rich color. This is the perfect product for that.
There's another question. Is there different ones for different colors of stone?
No. So this liquid is transparent. Yeah. So it does not bring any color on the stone. It just enhances the rich color of the original color of the stone, which you see sometimes. Maybe we can show this other black pieces there, or the Rosso Verona as well. Yeah. When it comes to a Rosso Verona, for example, you have this nice rich color on a polished surface, but when you hone it, yeah, you lose all the color. But for that application here, Transformer Max, and you get back the rich color of a polished surface. So this Transformer Max you can use on all natural stones. Also here on this, what is it, blue pearl. On the polished side, it looks nice, has a nice appearance, deep, rich color structure. When you hone it, you lose all of that. Yeah, but with the Transformer Max, you get it back. You get the same rich color, like on a polished surface, but with a rough finish. So this could also be an architectural, a design element. Yeah, this color enhancement products like the Transformer Max or our Darkener Super. So when your architect says he wants the rich, nice structure or color of the natural stone, but he needs maybe out of safety reasons a rough finish for non-slip as a non-slip area, then these transformers or the Darkener Super are the right products because they show you the rich color, this nice structure of the polished stone, but on a rough finish. So there's one product for all of the materials. Okay, so I think we nearly are done for the webinar. Thank you for staying tuned. Let me check if we have any more questions. Yeah, if you have questions later on, you can always write us an email directly through webinar@akemi, or if you have technical questions also to other products like our adhesives, glues, you can also write to info@akemi, or you can directly call us. Yeah, in German or English, it's not an issue. All our technical staff can support you there with your questions. If you want to stay informed, please follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We always will show new application tips, new videos, new webinars on this platform. And yeah, you can also register to our newsletter so you get always the latest informations. And I think when there is no more questions, let me check. There's one more chat popping up. Thank you for the webinar. Everything is clear. Thank you very much. Also here is one. Yeah, okay. So thank you very much for joining. We will have always in the end of the month one webinar like that, always different topics. You can just join us. Next time will be adhesives, especially colored adhesive, color matching. This is also an interesting topic. I think in March it will be again kitchen countertop, but everything about the kitchen countertop from the beginning of the cutting of the slab to the installation to the finish of the slab. So this would be our topic in March. Go to our website and register to our webinars. So thank you very much for joining, and hope to see you in 1 month. Bye-bye.